We're still in Chapter 4, Section 3, and we're just going to have a further explanation about the elasticity of demand. Just to kind of review what we talked about in the last section, elasticity is the measure of how responsiveness that it tells us how much dependent variables such as the quantity demanded responds to a change in an independent variable such as price. I gave you the example the other day of which extent and which change in price causes the change in quantity demanded. And my cartoon that I gave you in the last lecture was the whole idea of correlate a good price versus what is too much to pay. What would I have to pay in order to just walk by and say, heck no, I'm not buying it? So there's three different types of demand elasticities we talked about. Is elastic demand, which is a change in price, causes a relatively large change in quantity demanded. Inelastic demand, which is a change in price causing a relatively smaller change in the quantity demanded. Or unit elastic demand, which is a change in price causes a proportional change in the quantity demanded. So let's look at it from the perspective of charts and graphs. This is the total expenditures chart for apples, demand of apples. So the price of the product is the quantity demanded times the quantity demanded is the total expenditures or the total revenue. So the price per pound is 0. That would be a demand of 6. So you'd have a total revenue of 0. If it was a price per dollar, for $1 there was 5 demanded based off the chart, it'd be a revenue of 5. So if we continue down here, we see that the perfect amount that what we're looking for, the best amount, is selling 3 pounds, a demand of 3 pounds at 3. So we would make the most amount of revenue or cash flow from that. So the total expenditures test is to estimate elasticity and compare the direction of the price change to the direction of the change in total revenue. So elastic demand, the price and the revenue change move in opposite direction. In elastic demand, the price and the revenue changes move in the same direction. And unit elastic is where there's no change in revenue regardless of the change in prices. So how we look at that is elastic demand is, if we take a look at, here's the actual demand curve. We take a look at what the price is and what the quantity demanded is. So we would take for our expenditure, it would be $6 because it would be $3 per unit, and we want 2 units. So the expenditure for elastic demand would be 6. Now over here, the quantity of the price goes down, and you see the amount of demand goes up, meaning that we would have $2 for 4 units. So you could see that this is an elastic demand because as the price goes down, there's more demand for it. Inelastic demand is the opposite. So inelastic looks like if you have the idea of, here if we're buying item A and we're paying $3 per unit for 2 units, we're going to have a total expenditure of $6. So over here on the other side, if you get on to B, if the price is $2 and we want to buy 2.5 units, we're going to spend a total of $5. So it's less of a variance between the two, less than $1. And finally, unit elastic, again, it coordinates to what we're actually buying. So from the perspective of, here we have $3 per 2 units, and it's going to be $6 in expenditures. If we move down the chain, it's going to be $2 for 3 units, and it would be the same expenditure of $6. So you see the difference between the whole concept of elastic, inelastic, and unit elastic. Again, to review, perfect elasticity across, and perfectly inelastic up, and more realistic, you see inelastic and elastic goods on the different charts. So to review, these are the 3 main questions that we need to find in the determination of demand elasticity. 1, can the purchase be delayed? 2, are adequate substitutes available? 3, does purchase use a large portion of your income? And again, that can determine to see what that chart is that we looked at before. Does it make sense, and can we go through with making those changes for elasticity based off of purchases because of price?